everyone back. I'm actually having to start recording now because I forgot to press it earlier, like a smart person. So the recording can be a little short today. So I broke the four of you out into breakout groups just to give the people watching a little background to discuss the lecture. So having discussed it with each other, can somebody tell me what the political cartoon was that the professor showed this last Tuesday?
I think it was, wasn't it, Elizabeth was saying how it was the disabled sign?
Oh,
is that what you mean?
Did he not have a political cartoon this last lecture?
No, not that I remember.
Because remember, I have to walk over from Alpine over to ARC, and the first 10 minutes of class. So I missed if he has what he has up. So I'm kind of relying on you guys for that.
Oh.
Yeah. But so as you said, there was a disabled sign. What were the two words above it?
Was it culture versus, I don't know how to say that word. I keep saying it. Yeah, polity.
Yeah. Like Polly, but with an itty in it.
Okay.
And so, does anybody remember what polity means?
I don't know what he defined it as, but I searched it just now, and it says that it's a form or process of civil government or constitution.
Yeah, and so basically, polity in this context means the legislation that's passed. So, can somebody give me the first example that was used to compare culture and polity?
Was it like the disabled sign that, like, he was talking about people with disabilities?
Mm-hmm. And let's go to the example of segregation in schools.
Oh.
Do you remember what that graph represented?
People favoring I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah, so there was a graph where it showed that as time went on, more and more people saw segregation as something that needed to be gotten rid of, and you need to desegregate. And what was the professor's answer for why he said that this opinion changed?
I don't know.
Okay, does anybody else know?
Why his opinion changed?
Because remember seeing how, so like the timeline, the graph shows that people's opinions changed about segregation as time went on. So.
But I don't remember him explaining why it changed. He was just saying, like, the change in public opinion, and then they said school integration, and then he just showed the graph. I don't know.
Okay, so here, the reason why there was a change in public opinion was because people were more in touch with people from the other group, and so they saw that segregation was kind of a stupid policy, essentially, because they were like, oh, I know this person. I know that they have just as much as intelligence as I do. Because remember, there was the graph where it showed that as time went on, people believed more so that African Americans have equal intelligence as anybody else.
So is it, sorry.
No, go.
So is it like when he was talking about how Donald Trump called the Miss Universe, housekeeping or something like that.
Yeah, it goes.
And then, sorry.
Oh, no, go, yeah, no, quick, I want you to hear your question.
And is it like he put that example in there? Is it to show us how he was saying that the way Donald Trump view Hispanics is different from the way he sees it? Because like he was saying how in class there was a lot of Hispanic descendant people in there, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that to him they were like hardworking students and all that, but for Trump, though, he sees them, it's like the different views they have of like, and then like you're saying right now how people we're seeing like people of color that were the same hardworking like them and all that. So their opinion changed. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly. And then what happened because of the change in public opinion?
What did you say? Sorry again.
What happened after public opinion changed?
The laws changed.
Yeah, exactly. So public opinion needs to change before legislation can be made.
Oh.
It was the same with gay marriage. The culture had to become more accepting of the concept to have legislation be passed. And so that is, the legislation is the polity.
Yeah.
So here we have culture precedes polity. It comes before. And that's a really important concept for you guys to have.
Can you repeat that?
Culture changes before polity, aka legislation, changes. If you need me to repeat that again, then I can. And so what were all of the groups that we went over in class? Or like we said, we're started with African Americans. Then we went to the example of Latinos.
Mm-hmm.
Then who was on the side?
We went over disabilities and homosexuality.
Mm-hmm. And like Elizabeth said, it changed as we got more familiar with people who have those attributes and everything. So, you guys all feel comfortable with this concept of culture and polity?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, Camille had a question of why have most of the advances in civil rights come through federal courts and not the legislature? Because as you remember from all of those examples, it wasn't stuff that was passed in the Senate and the House that became law. These things were overturned by court cases, such as Brown v. Board of Education that ended segregation. So, I don't know, why do you guys think that it takes a federal case to change things, to change the law, rather than having it go through the House of Representatives and Senate?
I think that maybe because the federal court has less people
in terms of judges that have to agree on a certain matter. Whereas if it goes through like Congress, that's many more people that have to agree to it. And maybe the court system even gets more attention, so more people are willing to listen to that. And if one judge agrees with it, maybe they'll be more open to see why and agree to it.
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
That's a good point. And then another one for you guys to think about is, so culture is changing, and with culture changing, we have legislation changing. So before these court cases, what was put into law? Like, let's say, do you guys remember the Defense of Marriage Act? So Defense of Marriage Act, real quick, was something that was pushed through legislation in, I think, 92 by Clinton, and that essentially banned gay marriage in the United States. So here we have something being passed through the legislation, and then it is later overturned by the federal courts. Do you see that pattern in other cases that deal with this same subject? Are you guys frozen? I think so. Dang it. Can you guys hear me now? Hello?
It keeps freezing.
Okay. And I'm on school Wi-Fi too, so it shouldn't be going in and out. But I assume you didn't hear any of the last 5 minutes that I said, pretty much.
Not really.
Okay. So why do you think, so here we have a case of gay marriage where their Defense of Marriage Act was passed through the legislation in 92. And then later in 2014, a Supreme Court ruling overturned that legislation and became what allowed gay marriage. Do you guys see this pattern where legislation precedes a court case that later overturns that legislation because culture has changed? You're nodding your head, Camille. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
An example, I guess, would be gay marriage. That's like the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but so let's look at essentially segregation. It was put into place. It was more of a norm, and then it was established by the case of Plessy versus Ferguson, and then it was later overturned by Brown v. Board. So are you noticing a pattern of culture and how it influences what we have as our law? Or am I losing some of you?
Like, I get what you're saying, but I'm not sure how to respond to it.
Okay. You're shaking your head, Elizabeth.
Like what she said, yeah. I kind of know what you're saying, I just don't get it like that.
Okay. So let's let me see. Okay, another good example. So for the longest time, people didn't marry outside of their race as part of a culture.
Mhm.
You kept within your lines and stuff like that. And then later, when somebody actually tried to marry outside of their race, a law was put into place that prevented interracial marriage. And that law passed because the current culture supported it, because the current culture was against interracial marriage. Fast forward, I think about 50 years, and that issue comes back up again, interracial marriage. But because time has passed, people's minds have changed. So they are now like, hey, why, like, interracial marriage should be totally fine. I don't understand why we have a law preventing it. It's kind of like how like older people were against gay marriage, while you'll see younger people adopt it much more quickly because it's the new culture. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So is it easier for it to go to court in order for like a new law to be placed than for legislation to, I guess, to handle that situation? Is it easier to just get sent to the court after a couple of years or whatnot?
Yeah, essentially it is. And because usually there are several people who have contested that law, and that's why it has brought up to the federal court. I know some of you guys are like taking criminal justice, and that's kind of the end point of the justice system, is getting to the Supreme Court, because that's as much as you can appeal your case. So yeah, essentially it is, and it's easy, like you said earlier, because there's only 9 justices, it's a lot easier to decide on an issue rather than bring it through both the House and the Senate. Is that going to answer your question then? Okay. So yeah, essentially culture is the reason why we see things reformed through our Supreme Court rather than being passed through our legislature. And then, well, Sandra asked how the government shapes public opinion, but we're going to wait to talk about that question until we actually get to the public opinion section, because then you guys will have read some articles that may answer that question. So do you guys feel comfortable with everything that we've talked about and all of the concepts? Okay. So next, is there any other questions that you want to address before, like, okay. And have any of you looked at the reading for Thursday?
I don't look at that till the weekend.
Yeah. And you shouldn't. But, I remember what the thing that I wanted to do with you guys. Have you guys picked out your inside dates? Yeah? Some of you haven't? You guys want to look at the calendar and kind of discuss what might be good days and stuff like that?
Do you know if every single day is going to be an option or no?
Let me see. She gave me the. Okay, so it starts. Let me share the screen. Share screen. Okay, so it starts on the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes all the way through. The only day that isn't included is, of course, the 24th, which is Thanksgiving. Yeah, so and it goes all the way to the 8th, the 8th of December. So you guys get to choose on political parties. There's 2 days for that. There's 1 day for elections. You have campaign money, which can be a fun one. Interest groups. That has 2 days. 1 legislature day, and then there's 2 executive days, and then there's 1 bureaucracy, and 3 days for judiciary.
Why is the 8th of December a choice? Because aren't you supposed to do it on in the articles that are due that day?
8, no, you're supposed to do it on the 6th. On the meeting from the 6th.
Okay, the one before.
Yeah. When is your insight?
I forgot what day I chose. Oh, I already did my insight, the one that's due like this time, and I think I did it correctly, like the day before, but.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that you did it on the day before.
So if I were to have chosen like November, or I think this month is.
This is November right here.
Okay, so if I were to choose November 17th,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to do the one from legislature, which is November 15th.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, remember, just choose 1 question from the questions given and answer that to the best of your ability using the sources that we give you.
Okay, because I went over the topics and all that, and I kind of chose which one I would like to do. So since I kind of want to do the executive, would I just choose my due date for November 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And so, honestly, like, I would say interest groups is kind of a fun one to do, if there can be a fun one. Oh, and that reminds me, I need to put up my old essay for you guys so you can look at that. Would you guys be interested if I held an SI Plus session where everybody's invited to do kind of like a workshop on your essays? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll set that up for everybody, especially because this is going to be the second round of insights and everything, so you have tried it on your own first, and then. Okay, cool. So, do you guys have like a preferred day that you would be most likely to go, as far as like Monday through Friday? Like, just question, would you? I assume most of you wouldn't be willing to go to a Friday session.
I usually camp Fridays, but Tuesday afternoons would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about everyone else?
Are you guys available like anytime between 12 and 2:45? Okay.
It depends on which day.
Yeah, okay. I meant on like a Tuesday or something.
Oh, yeah.
For me, yeah.
What if no, I can't do that. I have to separate my SI Plus sessions and stuff like that. I was thinking that maybe I might hold it at like 6 on like a Monday or Wednesday, so then I know you guys are available. But okay, this is good information, and I will plan from here. So, and I will try to get you guys all included, because I know this workshop will be very helpful for this essay and any other essay that you want to read. Okay, so, yeah, okay. We've gone over this. How are you guys doing with the reading? Are you feeling a bit overwhelmed by it?
Yeah, it could be too much at times, so.
Would you guys want to try a system where you divide up the work amongst each other and then report to each other about your readings?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try that for Monday then. So Monday is, okay, Monday the 10th. So we have both political socialization and public opinion. So would two of you be good with taking, okay. I'm trying to make this fair because political socialization has less to do than public opinion does. So I am going to say that if you do political socialization, you'll also do R2 and R3 from public opinion. So first two people to do the raise your hand thing on here get political socialization.
Okay.
Now this is now this is a test of using the technology that we have here.
Oh wow, it's this right here.
Lourdes has her hand up. So she gets political socialization. Now one more person. Unless two people are willing to just do public opinion.
Wait, what are we raising our hands for right now? For public?
So political socialization, yeah.
And it's to read the readings?
Mm-hmm. So then you're responsible for those readings, and then these your other two peers in your classroom are responsible for the others. So then you guys are splitting the work.
I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah. So Lourdes and Elizabeth will do political socialization, and then Camille and Sandra will do public opinion. Sound good?
Yep.
Cool.
So wait, for public opinion, we're not doing the R2 and R3?
Yeah. So important note, political socialization people, you do all of those, you do the readings G6 and R1, and then you do R2 and R3 from public opinion. That way the work is evenly split.
Okay.
And we don't have to write a summary or anything, right? We just talk
No,
about
just read it so then you can be able to talk about it in class and stuff like that and fill in the people who didn't read the political socialization.
Okay.
So basically when you read it as though you're like, okay, if I'm reading this, can I explain it to another person?
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, we have about 3 minutes left. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns?
My insight is due on the 18th, so I turn it on the 17th.
No, it's due on the 18th, so you write on the media.
And then I turn it in on the 17th, right?
Oh wait, because you're web, so you guys have to do it beforehand, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I could do it through Blackboard, right? Just submit
Yeah.
it? Okay.
And then if you want to just double reassurance, then like just email him a copy as well.
Okay.
So mine's due the same day, but how do you turn it in on Blackboard?
So for you, Camille, you just email it to the two of us.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry about turning it in on Blackboard. That's for web students.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And I mean, we have to add quotes from like readings right inside our website?
Yeah, because you need to you need to show where you're getting your information from, and you need to explain, like use those sources to explain your reasoning.
So it's like we're just writing about the topic. It's not opinion or anything. So I can't be like, I don't believe in that or anything like that, right? Or...
Not unless the prompt asks for it.
Okay.
So I have a question too. So because I'm writing about the media too. So you just like pick you basically pick like R1, for example, and then you write about that.
Yeah, so you pick R1, and then have this open up. So you go down all the way to the bottom of the article, and you see that there's a question right here. You see what I'm highlighting?
No, not really. Like. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So and this is one that all the questions fit together and would help you to answer them all in one paper.
Okay.
And so, yeah, use your textbook to explain what the types of media are and like what errors they make and stuff like that.
Okay.
Used.
So chapter 6 of the Ginsburg text is going to be your source of general information. And then this article will be your specifics.
Okay.
Does that answer everybody's questions?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, I will see you all either in class or on Monday. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.